My name is Zak Rosen. I am a podcast coach at the Detroit Writing Room, and I am a freelance podcast maker. My favorite part about being a coach is pumping up the podcasters that I'm working with and also getting pumped up. Like on any given day, I think we can feel super excited and elated about a project or just totally deflated and like, how is this ever gonna work? And so on a given day, if I'm going in and talking to a podcaster and not feeling very inspired, but they, on the opposite end of the spectrum, are just like really, really excited to get their show started, that is gonna light me up again. And vice versa, if I'm going in and I'm feeling good that day, but they're like, oh man, how is this ever gonna work? I can kind of give them my flame, and I think it's a kind of back and forth on any given day. I focus on whatever the podcaster is interested in. If they are a new showmaker who's never done this before, we'll talk a lot about basics, about the reality of actually making a show and how much time it actually takes. If I'm talking to someone who has been working on a show for a while, but they want to take it to the next level, we might talk about structuring their episodes in a different way, thinking more about sound design. It really just depends, but I like talking about it all. I think that audio has this way of capturing informality in ways that like films or novels don't do as well. At the end of the day, I listen to shows for the hang. Like I really just want to spend time with the host. I want to hear what they're thinking about. I want to hear what kind of questions they're going to ask their guest. And audio, because you're not thinking about, you know, what kind of glasses the person has or what their pants look like it's just human voices colliding, no matter how much editing you're doing. I think it just, it's that weird kind of parasocial relationship where the listener feels really connected to the person that they spend a lot of time listening to, because it's just, you know, that intimate kind of one-to-one, like someone's talking directly into your ears if you're wearing headphones at least. And that's kind of a special relationship to have. So I love creating that relationship as a host of podcasts and a producer of podcasts, but also as a listener. I like feeling that connection with whomever I'm listening to. My favorite podcast that I've worked on is one called Pregnant Pause that I made with my wife back in 2016. She was ready to start trying to have kids, and I was just not ready at all, and I was freaking out about it. And so I used the show as an excuse to talk to as many people as I could about should we or shouldn't we. I talked to climate scientists and philosophers and friends and families and really just processed this actual burning question I had. And the show was an excuse to work through a lot of that anxiety. And I think it turned into something that has been useful for other people too, who have also struggled with that same question. My advice to aspiring podcasters is to not be afraid of silence. Ask really thoughtful questions, and if you find that your subject is taking some time to answer, don't interrupt. That means they're thinking about what to say, and that's a good thing, because that means they're not just like saying the thing that they always say. It means they're thinking in real time, and that's really what you want to get to when you're talking to someone in a podcast. You want to hear someone think and work through stuff in real time. So just let them come up with their thoughts. You can edit out the pause later, but often that pause is kind of dramatic and interesting, and it's cool to hear someone think.